The crystal chandeliers shimmered above the five-star hotel restaurant, casting golden light on polished marble floors. At table 7 sat Klaus Reinhardt, a German billionaire known for his ruthless business empire and arrogance. He leaned back, in his leather chair, smirking at the young waitress who nervously placed down his wine. Then, in German, he muttered loud enough for his guests to hear, "Dummes Mädchen, nicht einmal ein Glas halten kann." Stupid girl, can't even hold a glass. The table erupted in laughter, but when the waitress froze, her eyes burned with a hidden fire. She was not what she seemed. Amelia Carter, 24, had only been working at the Grand Lux Hotel for 3 weeks. Petite, with auburn hair tied neatly beneath her server's cap, she moved quickly between tables, balancing trays like a dancer on stage. To the guests, she was invisible, another uniform in the sea of staff. But Amelia carried a past no one there knew. She had grown up in Berlin, the daughter of an American diplomat and a German schoolteacher. Her father's job meant constant travel, and by the time she was 15, Amelia spoke 3 languages fluently. At university, she studied international relations, dreaming of becoming a translator for the United Nations. But tragedy struck when her mother passed suddenly, and financial struggles forced her to abandon her studies. She returned to America, working odd jobs to survive. Tonight, the restaurant buzzed with chatter. At table 7 sat Reinhardt, one of Europe's wealthiest men. Known for his cruel tongue, he relished humiliating staff. His entourage, business partners and investors, laughed at every joke he made. Amelia had been warned by her manager to just smile and take it if Reinhardt mocked her. But when the billionaire sneered at her in German, Amelia's heart pounded. The insult cut deep, not because she didn't understand, but because she understood perfectly. She clenched her jaw, her tray trembling. She could let it go as her manager advised, or she could do something no one expected. Her decision would silence the entire restaurant. Klaus Reinhardt leaned forward, swirling his wine. His pale blue eyes sparkled with cruel amusement as he whispered more German insults to his companions. Sie ist ein Niemand, wahrscheinlich zu dumm für die Schule. She's a nobody, probably too stupid for school. His investors chuckled, throwing glances at Amelia as though she were an animal at the zoo. Amelia's chest burned with humiliation, but behind her forced smile her mind raced. She thought of her mother, who had taught her German lullabies. She thought of long nights studying Goethe and Schiller, of dreams that had been stolen. She set the empty tray against her hip and leaned slightly toward the table. "Entschuldigung, Herr Reinhardt," she said softly. The table froze. Her accent was flawless, her tone sharp. Reinhardt blinked in disbelief, the smirk fading. Amelia continued, switching to German completely. "Ich verstehe jedes Wort, das Sie sagen. Und wissen Sie was? Meine Mutter war eine Lehrerin in Berlin. Sie hat mir beigebracht, Menschen zu respektieren, egal ob sie eine Kellnerin oder ein König sind. Schade, dass Sie das nie gelernt haben. I understand every word you say. And you know what? My mother was a teacher in Berlin. She taught me to respect people, whether they're a waitress or a king. Shame you never learned that." A hush fell across the dining room. Cutlery stopped clinking, glasses hung in midair. The guests at Reinhardt's table stared, caught between awe and discomfort. Reinhardt's face reddened. He wasn't used to being challenged, least of all by a waitress. He slammed his hand on the table, rattling the glasses. "Wie wagen Sie? How dare you?" But before he could finish, Amelia raised her chin. "No, sir, how dare you? You think your money gives you the right to humiliate others, but respect isn't bought. It's earned." Gasps rippled through the room. Even the maitre d' hesitated, torn between stepping in and letting the moment play out. Reinhardt's entourage shifted uncomfortably. Some looked impressed. Others avoided his gaze as if realizing the cruel truth. This waitress had more dignity than the billionaire they followed. For the first time in years, Reinhardt had no clever retort. The silence stretched until Reinhardt tried to laugh it off, forcing a smug grin. "Ah, so the maid thinks she is clever, a little language trick. Do you know who I am?" Amelia's eyes never wavered. Yes, you're Klaus Reinhardt, a man with billions in his bank account, but nothing in his heart. A murmur swept through the dining hall. Phones began to appear, discreetly recording the confrontation. Reinhardt noticed, his expression twisting. His carefully crafted public image, philanthropist, global leader, was seconds from shattering. "Delete those," he barked, pointing at the guests with phones. But the cameras kept rolling. Amelia stepped back, her voice steady. "You can try to intimidate me, but the world is watching, and no amount of money can erase what you just revealed about yourself." The weight of her words landed like a thunderclap. For once, Reinhardt had no control. His face contorted in rage, but his own advisors gently pulled him back into his chair. One of them whispered urgently in his ear, "This is going viral. Stop now." Reinhardt's hand shook as he lifted his glass, but he said nothing more. The mighty billionaire had been silenced, not by another tycoon but by a young waitress who refused to bow. Later that night, the videos hit social media. Within hours, millions watched Amelia stand her ground. Headlines exploded. "Waitress shuts down billionaire in perfect German. Powerful clapback stuns Reinhardt." By morning, Reinhardt's PR team scrambled to contain the fallout. Stockholders questioned his arrogance. Journalists dug into his past scandals. His reputation cracked. Amelia, meanwhile, was summoned by the hotel manager. She expected to be fired. Instead, he smiled nervously. "You've put this place on the map," he admitted. "Guests are booking tables just to meet you." Days later, Amelia received offers she never imagined. Scholarships from universities, invitations to speak at cultural conferences, even a position as a translator for an international NGO. The dream she thought was gone had been reignited. As she walked home one evening, the city lights glowing above, Amelia whispered to herself, "Respect cannot be bought. It must be earned." Justice wasn't always delivered in courts or boardrooms. Sometimes it happened in a restaurant, with nothing more than courage and the power of words.